You're listening to From a Certain Point of Skew, the only Star Wars podcast that promises to have 1/3 of us hate watch this Disney Plus Kenobi series into oblivion. Neighbor Cole, there goes your fan club. I'm Jason the Ginger Jedi Guy, broadcasting live from Wookiee Studios. I am not alone. Please allow me to introduce your favorite wretched scum, scoundrels, and smugglers. First up, Neighbor Cole, who I mentioned. He's from Corellia. He is here. How you doing, sir?
Am I the resident pessimist? Is that what you're trying to say here? Like, do I have to take the negative spin on every series that we watch?
No, actually, I was going to, that was the twist. I'm going to hate watch this now because, like, you've got the fan club, but we're talking good about it. So maybe I'll bring in the haters.
We all three can't align. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to be the angry racist white guy.
Well, you fit right into that role. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right.
Because we all know that you're not really angry.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me down, Jason. And thank you, as always, for opening up your studio.
Thank you for coming to the meeting.
Keeps getting worse.
Was I am I underdressed?
Yeah.
I left my sheets at home.
Right.
Oops a daisy. Walked into the wrong.
Episode 70. We made it this far. Good night, folks.
I thought we were supposed to have. I was told the punch and cookies would be complimentary. Yeah. Didn't know that this was going to be such a big deal. It's been a great ride so far. 70 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having a good time.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Good.
We're not alone here in the studios. We have another third micer coming in hot from the hyperspace lanes. He is affectionately known as Mart on the show, but we can call him Matt.
Does anybody call him Mart but you?
Lots of people.
I don't see y'all do that. Yeah. I must not be getting those memos. Okay.
Apparently you're not subscribing to the Factpa.
No, and I'm only on the hate watch bunch, so I don't see the good emails coming through.
But he's our resident third micer. He's got a beautiful face and a beautiful voice. His name is Darth Mathias. Welcome to the show, Matt.
That's quite an intro.
Oh, I was expecting a voice.
Oh no, I got no voice. I don't think we got any real new characters to delve into, so I didn't do that. But I wanted to start with just a totally random thing because this happened the other day. You'll understand. I totally thought of you guys when this happened.
Oh.
No. You guys have sons about the same age as my sons. Ish, right?
Mine's a 9.
Okay.
11.
Okay, yeah. So see, I've got a 13 and a 10. So my 10-year-old comes home. Well, I picked him up from school the other day, and he gets in the car and he's like, "So, Dad, we had to talk today." I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh right." I was thinking, "Oh, they had the puberty talk."
Oh.
I said, "Oh," and so then he goes, "Yeah," and he somehow said, "Well, we talked about ejection." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he said it again. I said, "Okay. I think he means ejaculation, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to let him talk this one out." I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And he's like, like when your penis goes up. I'm like, "That's an erection."
Oh, okay.
Are you guys watching? You guys watching Top Gun?
You might have to start explaining more than you were bargaining for here.
I was like, "How do you not know this?" So then I said, "Okay." So we talked about that for a second, and then it was funny because then later I picked up my older son and I'm telling him this story. And I said the part about ejection. I said, "You know what he means?" He goes, "Yeah, ejaculation." I'm like, "That's what I thought."
Yeah,
it makes sense. Ejection, same thing.
Yeah,
I get it. But yeah, no, it was erection. So that's gonna be a thing now.
That's why he's the consultant on this show. He thinks just like his dad.
That's right. We're right in step.
Follows in the footsteps of the old man.
Oh my God. Anyway, so we are a Star Wars podcast.
And a sex education podcast on the side.
I mean, why not mix the both?
Yeah, I think so. You can find us at FromACertainPointOfSkew.com. We're on Twitter at FACPAPOD, and you can email us FACPAPOD@gmail.com. Part of the Podawans Podcast Network at Podawans. We're doing a giveaway, and this is the last week. In fact, I think what we'll do is maybe let it run through this next the final episode.
Sure.
So the episode after is when we'll determine who the winner is.
Okay.
So that, again, gives me more time to start tallying up since I really haven't been doing a very good job.
So you haven't done. I was going to ask last week. You said you haven't yet. And I was curious what the spreadsheet was looking like.
I need to get on that shit. But if you get a friend to listen to the show and somehow explain that to us in a proper way, not in a Slewfoot Fred weird picture of baby Filoni and Lucas, then you will get 2 entries. If you write a review, you get 2 entries. If you quote tweet our episode post, you get an entry. We will have second and third place prizes as well, but the number one prize is the Kenobi hilt that is being worked on by, or will be worked on by, Darth Flamingus.
And this isn't a cheap thing. Like, I guess we should put that out there. We've shown images of the stuff we've given away before. Like, these are worth a couple $100s a piece. So we're not, going out and just buying some Fisher Price / Hasbro.
We literally drain our petty cash fund every single giveaway. Just for you folks.
Well, Vader doesn't pay in child support. We pay in gifts to give you guys.
I don't know what we're gonna do when we have Andor and Bad Batch going at the same time. You're gonna have to figure that one out.
Well, we're gonna we'll make the two winners fight for the one thing we give away.
Now this year is good as gold. That's a ticket to a free full body massage from Neighbor Cole. You have to see the authorian historian just be like, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm coming over with my mask on.
Every entry.
All right, on the show today, we've got a question of the week. Haja had one job. News, the Taika plan, Kenobi episode 5 review. That's the big thing we're going to cover. We got a Maul Bag. There's 3 of them. Thank you, listeners, for finally listening and coming through for us. And we've got a Factpa or fiction. The final results, they're in. So we're going to cover those. But let's get into this. So, like I said, number one thing we're going to do here is question of the week. Neighbor Cole, you made it up. Go ahead and read it to the audience.
Spoiler alert for part 5 of Kenobi. Just what in the fuck is Haja's problem?
What is his problem?
This is a bit of an open-ended
Like, who hurt him?
Somebody did. He had but one job, and that was to hold on to the holocron projector for Ben, and he literally drops it like a buffoon.
He had like butterfingers. He had 3 things in his hands, and he couldn't make it 4 feet without, they're gone!
15 minutes after taking it into his possession, not perception, after taking it into his possession, it's such a klutzy drop, too. He's just like, doo-doo. Yeah. Next thing you know, it just like falls down to the ground. Like, I'm supposed to, they told me to act natural when I did this. But you could tell he was like, it was so forced.
Doesn't his Jedi robe have pockets?
He's not necessarily a Jedi, though.
Right, but I mean, if he's trying to play the part.
Also, what type of things do you think Reva does alone? Because she tells Ben early in the episode, you have no idea what I've done by myself.
Oh, you really...
And I said to myself, right as she said that, I've got a couple of ideas. But what do you think she does? Do you think she walks her blurg in the blurg park? Mm-hmm. Maybe she does coloring or cross-stitching, Sabak-style solitaire? Or maybe just TikTok videos. What's on the plate there for that?
Galactic TikTok hologram videos?
We were really... digging deep for these hard questions this week on the question of the week. So
it's been a long day.
I will open it up.
TikTok videos, I would see that. I could see that for sure. She's trying to, get her name out there. She's running that I want to be the Grand Inquisitor campaign.
She wants to be viral. Yeah.
Exactly. So I could see that.
Yeah.
Tell Vader I'm awesome.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
I think you're a little hard on Haja, too, because he had more than one job. He was babysitting Leia, which he wasn't doing a very good job. It was just annoying her, really.
Yeah, much to his displeasure, he was assigned the babysitter role.
Not a babysitter.
Kind of like Steve in Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's a good parallel.
Yeah.
Yep. Not quite so hairy.
Okay.
Oh, maybe he is.
We ain't seen what's under that robe.
Haja's got some taco meat kicking.
Wow.
Taco meat.
Poking out of the top of the shirt. Jay, you had anything to add here on this, deep
No, I want to see, because she seems like, Reva kind of reminds me of like Wanda Sykes. Like, she's just always bitching about shit, right? So you can see her like trying to walk her blurg and just fucking bitching the whole time. Like, really hates her blurg. Like, her blurg, it's like Ken the blurg.
Ken the blurg.
Yeah. She just it's like Napoleon Dynamite feeding Tina.
She's got it on a choke chain. Come on! Screaming at it. Over here.
Yeah. So I see like everything she does. She can't be fun to be around. Not even like for herself. Even cooking dinner.
Well, she's an extremely troubled individual because of the things that she has been through. So yeah, probably tough. And I mean, her TikTok videos now, it's just going to be a lot of rehab. A lot of PT,
Yeah. Like what's the number one song she's going to be doing in her next TikTok video?
Everybody Hurts.
There we go.
Something by Katy Perry.
All right, news?
Yeah, let's go into news.
Okay, so just one item on the news front. So Taika Waititi recently was saying that he was working on the script for his Star Wars film, and he said that he wants to make sure it's like in the Star Wars wheelhouse, but he also wants to get away from what we've seen so far. And he said, quote, "Look, I think for the Star Wars universe to expand, it has to expand. I don't think that I'm any use in the Star Wars universe making a film where everybody's like, oh, great, well, that's the blueprints of the Millennium Falcon. Oh, and that's Chewbacca's grandmother."
Yeah.
I love that. And he goes on to say, "That all stands alone. That's great, though. I would like to take something new and create some new characters and just expand the world. Otherwise, it feels like it's a very small story." And I agree, and we've talked about this before, how the Skywalker era is fantastic and we love it and all the shows that have come with it and all that. We want to see new characters and new. You want the Star Wars feel, which I like that he's kind of giving a tip to that.
Right.
But you want new stories and new people to care about.
I like the idea of you go out and you expand and you just put yourself out into the universe, but you're also like have little like at the same time.
You need
this
the
is
Easter
happening.
eggs that kind of thread the stories, like something that you recognize, right?
Yeah, you drop in like one of the, but they're only there for like 20 seconds. Like, oh, here he comes. Or you
Like
spot
a
him in
Rey
a bar.
cameo.
Yeah, like a little cameo, or you see them doing something that they were doing in episode 7, 8, or 9, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they're really adjacent.
From like a certain point of view.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
If you wanted to put it in a box.
Now, how do they go? Okay, so because Kennedy said that moving forward, they were the theatrical movies were going to be moved forward from the Skywalker saga, but including they led to believe like Rey or Finn or Poe or someone would be back, right? Going past episode 9.
Sure, and not so much the trilogy setup as well, is what she said.
Right. So
more one-offs.
is he including anything? Like, is his timeline just after that? Like, so are we like we open up and it's 5 years after, but maybe we don't focus on Rey and her Jedi Academy or something, but we kind of get a tease of like where we are in the world.
It seems like he would be going forward versus back. Like, I don't think he's going back unless he's doing some like High Republic shit or something like that. But I think he's probably going forward would be my guess.
I think so, yeah.
And so then, yeah, there's a lot of room there to do whatever you want because, that's fairly unwritten.
True.
But I mean, I think the other thing that comes up too a lot is the fact that there's so much influence and borrowing from expanded universe and all these different stories and books that we've seen that it's like, do you take into play those characters because that they have some sort of awareness by the fans, or do you just say, fuck it, I'm going to start with a brand new slate of people for the most part that we're gonna focus on? I mean, that's why I like the concept of this Skeleton Crew show because from what I understand, these are all new people that we don't know. So that's kind of cool.
He's the perfect person to do it as well. I think he'd be a creative genius when it comes to whichever route, like taking something that's not canon and making it into a story, or just pulling characters out of his ass, so to speak, and just making a storyline go wherever. Also, real quick, I played through, I think, the first, scene or 2 scenes of Jedi Fallen Order. That's a fun video game. It's
really fun.
Quite a good time.
And I'll tell you this too. It's like I remember being on Organa or whatever it is, the second place you go to, and being like, God, I feel like I'm fucking here forever. There was a moment of being, I just like couldn't figure out how to get off.
Oh.
And so I stalled.
Ask your son. He knows how to.
Well, I know he knows the whole goddamn game.
Or you can talk to Reva while she's alone. She might tell you something too.
Any game we get, he finishes it like immediately, like just jumps on it and like binges it.
I've realized how terrible I am at video games now. I used to be really good, but now I'm just like hit.
I lost that hand-eye coordination.
My reflexes are slow. Like to deflect the laser, hit L1. I'm like, where's L1? I'm looking down at the controller. I'm like,
you haven't passed like the training sequence?
I used to remember where everything was, and just instinctually, and I'm just like, I'm trying to deflect laser blasters back, and I'm like 20 seconds late on my reflex. I'm like L1.
Who's the big giant Inquisitor? That thing's gonna come storming Cole. He's gonna get scared.
Yeah. There is one in there that's huge. I can't remember.
It's a
woman. It's a sister. It's one of the sisters. I can't remember. She's huge.
The thing that freaked me out, or it was cool, and I thought for a second I was lost, is you're in the train and then you have a vision or whatever, and like you're just sitting there, blah blah blah, blah, and then you turn around and you're back. The whole entire environment's changed, and you're in like the Death Star.
Oh, cool.
Like you're in a hallway, and it's like the music comes in, boo, and it does it as soon as you turn around. You're like, holy moly, I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and the graphics are like crazy, but I can't get past the kid from Shameless. That's his face on there.
Right.
Okay. It just keeps throwing me off.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm looking forward to the sequel next year. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and
I'll be on stage 2 still trying to escape the planet.
There's definitely times where playing video games as a kid or growing up, whatever, you didn't have this option. You just had to figure it out or know somebody who did it. But now you can just go on YouTube and be like, how the hell do you get past this part?
Yeah.
They show you. There's a walkthrough. You're like, okay, cheating. And the other thing if he's talking about writing it still.
You're right.
Yeah, December 2023 not happening.
That's why I'm wondering if like maybe he took over, because what were the Game of Thrones fellas, right? They were going to do a movie.
Yes.
And you know how they create things. There's always, so I'm wondering if he came in and he's retooling it for himself
Maybe.
But they've already done previs. They've done some work. They know what's kind of going to be involved. Because otherwise, how is Kennedy saying there's a movie coming out in a year when he's still writing it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because you would think, when I think of what Taika's going to make, you would think it would be all his idea rather than picking up somebody else's. But your point about she was talking about December, even somewhat recently, makes you think that it's further along than he's alluding to. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, be interesting. I hope he does move fast enough when we do get. And if they're going to shoot in the volume, they certainly can shoot faster. And I think he shot Thor. I think Thor: Love and Thunder was volume. So he's worked in it before. Yeah,
and I love the volume, and I think it's great. I hope they don't lean on it too much and get completely away from those practical sets, because there is a lot of value in those as well.
Sure.
So we'll be back on Tatooine.
I love the volume. I love it. I really do. And I think it works well for Mandalorian. But, man, I can tell they're shooting in a fucking room where everyone is standing up against a wall in this show sometimes, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, there's sometimes I see that.
Have them turn it down. Turn down the volume.
Okay.
Yeah, like there was the scene where last week where she Tala lands on the Inquisitorium and she's walking in. Like you could just, if you're paying attention to it, you're like, that's a screen behind her. Like it's so clear. Obviously it is, because how else would they do that? But at the same time, I didn't notice as much before. Maybe it's because we're so versed in what the volume can do now.
That could be.
We're more aware of it.
But it
whereas
just seems like there's
weren't.
not a lot going on in the background sometimes. And in the films, there's always shit going on. There's people passing by. There's shit going on in the background. There's always noises happening and stuff. And it seems like sometimes, like the shot that really it's almost the same shot in The Mandalorian where, what's his face?
Boba Fett.
Nope. It's Mandalorian, the 501st, and he's yelling at them to come out or else, right?
Moff Gideon?
Yes, Moff Gideon, right? And they're going to blow the door down, and they're all running in with their fucking gun and shit, right? Same shot with her and her troops, right? But it seems like the camera's in the same, like, you can tell we've only got this much room, so everyone kind of cram in here, and there's not a high shot. Like, you don't get it's just this fucking cave wall and a door.
Part of that, part of the difference there, though, being that shot was on a lot versus the volume. That shot with Moff Gideon, that was on a lot.
Yeah, okay, yes, it was.
Because it was outside, it was an outdoor shot and all that kind of stuff. It was a little bit different than the makeup of what, the planet they're on, Jabim. But yes, I see what you mean. Every now and again, if I let my mind wander to like looking at the scenery too closely, I kind of see it. But
it's not enough for me to be like, they should never have fucking made this show.
It works great.
You guys are on a different level than me with your video watching. Because I'm just sitting there enjoying the ride.
Maybe we need to relax.
Take it fucking
show up.
Couple seconds and fucking just enjoy the process.
Who's in that X-Wing?
You guys are just like, that droid's turning counterclockwise. That's not right. That's not right.
You should see Jay and I go watch our kids in a play. We're just like, look at these sets. They're fucking pathetic.
Right.
What are you, a tree?
Who painted that?
That kid must really
That doesn't look like a door.
This kid does not know his lines. Zero emotion. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Boo this man. From the
Okay, let's get into Kenobi.
Let's do it.
Part 5.
Really quickly, because this came up, I think we talked about it a little bit on Twitter too, but late last week is when I first heard of this theory that this series is like mirroring the first 6 episodes of the Skywalker saga. Well, maybe mirroring's too strong, but like have some parallels to each episode. So yeah, like Phantom Menace, episode 1, they're on Tatooine, 10-year-old, like Force sensitive, blah, blah, blah. And like it kind of goes from there. I guess Attack of the Clones kind of more of a mission-based, darker movie. Obviously the fight with Vader and Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith, same with part 3. And then last week was 100% Death Star rescue scene from New Hope, same thing. So going into this one, because I heard about that last week, I was like, okay, so this is Empire Strikes Back. What are they going to do? So with this one, it's the tie-in to me feels like it's Hoth. Like they're on a base. Vader's coming down to attack. They even have the moment where he's walking through the base. Imperial troops have entered the base.
Sure.
And so
that was a good.
So there's a lot of those parallels, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I'd be interested to hear them talk about it later. The people who made the show to say like that was what they had in mind all the way, or if it's like a couple of them were, but it just ended up working out that way, because it certainly feels that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue too. There's a little bit of a Last Jedi on Crate kind of feel to them being on Jabim and like them trying to blow the door open and like the old Jedi goes out to kind of stall them and all that kind of stuff. There's a tie in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, I really would have been Empire if he would have told Reva, "I am your father."
Right, exactly.
After cutting her hand off.
Yeah. What if that was like his move? Like every Jedi he fucking came across, he just says, "I am your father," trying to say, "Am I? Am I? Hello?"
He's got this theory. He's not sure who.
I know there's two out there. I'm just gonna.
It's
Everyone
the
has to
Vader
come through me.
Yeah, it's the Vader bluff. He's always doing that. Like, let's just see. Somebody's gonna crack. Somebody's gonna say
Dr.
it.
Phil comes out and the lie detector shows.
I got done with the episode, and just from a straight entertainment standpoint, I thought it was the most entertaining one of the bunch because there's just so much fun shit going on, and I found myself like smiling during the episode, going like, "Oh, this is awesome," you know?
Yeah.
So in watching back, sure, there's some things to pick out, but for the most part, when I got done with that episode, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I felt that way about episode 3. Part 3, rather.
Yeah.
Part 3. That was mine. Like I loved the seeing Vader get his just desserts or whatever on Obi-Wan and
Just pulling him through the fire.
pulling him through the fire,
Okay.
like the badass part. Like
Yeah.
it's time for you. Like you really get to see him play out his emotions.
I tell you what, he's a mean son of a bitch.
He's not holding anything back.
No, he's not. And if he is,
because he didn't hold anything back.
Nice. Well, and then I really like the flashback stuff.
Flashback without the back to tank. Did
I
you see
know.
that?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on here?
Just in their minds. They don't have to have the back to tank.
I was lost. I was
Now, how would they
is
be
this
doing
happening?
this?
Yeah.
Where's the back to tank? He needs to be surrounded in bubbly water with hoses for any sort of like flashback sequence.
Only when I fire it up, the first thing, of course, I look at is how many minutes? And I was like, 43 or whatever it
know.
was. I was like, come on. But have you seen, there's going to show at some theater, I know that's happening in Canada somewhere, but maybe somewhere else, like the whole series next week. And they're also going to do a Q&A in the end.
Yeah.
So they said it's going to be 5 hours and 20 minutes. So, of course, people are getting their fucking calculators out. And they're like, wait a minute. Okay, part 1 was this. Part 2 was this. And they start doing the backward math.
Hour and 33 minutes.
Yeah, hour 33 minutes. We're like, okay, but then the Q&A is probably part of that. So is that like 30 minutes? So is the last episode going to be like 63 minutes? That's what everybody's trying to figure out right now is how long it's going to be. Or is the Q&A longer? And it's like, shit, it's only going to be,
Wait, there's a
48
Q&A on the end of part 6?
They're going to do a Q&A. So
the
they're
theater.
in the theater. They're doing this. They're showing all 6 parts. You can go to the theater and watch. It's 5 hours and 20 minutes long. At the end is a Q&A. So we're assuming that's part of the 5 hours and 20 minutes. So people are trying to figure out how long that last episode is going to be.
Okay, they're doing the.
And I assume the Q&A will be on Disney Plus at some point. I would guess, like they'll show it in
Probably,
some
yeah.
fashion. So
Yeah.
anyway, we will have to see. But it would be nice to have a full hour to wrap this baby
I hope
up.
so, because there's a lot that needs to happen in this episode, and I don't want it feeling rushed.
I agree, and also, and we'll get to it here in a second. There's certainly the way they ended this episode, they could do a lot of different things. Like you don't necessarily know what's exactly coming next. Certainly, Tatooine's involved. But that's about it.
Right.
Like there's still a lot of open questions. So that's good. Any other overall thoughts, or should we get into the blow?
No, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Right out of the gate, you see at the back of Anakin on Coruscant. You're like, the fuck?
Padawan Anakin.
Padawan Anakin, yes. Some people have said, I've heard, that he was looking off in the direction of Padme's apartment. I don't know if that's true. He was like, is that fucking Clovis's car?
Yeah.
Is that Clovis's car?
He better not be over there again.
I think that's actually later in the timeline, but it's still funny.
This is, I think it's during Attack of the Clones, the way he definitely hasn't fought Dooku yet.
No,
Yeah.
he's still got both arms.
Yeah, still got both hands.
And he turns around and you're like, God damn. Like he looked a little fucking
See,
rough.
I thought he looked like someone was on the internet complaining they didn't de-age them, and I was like, they did. They had to have.
I don't think
Otherwise, they used the makeup job they did on Kurt Russell that made him look 23 again in Guardians of the Galaxy, because he didn't. I don't think
you
either
could
of them.
you could see Anakin looked older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Could you?
You
guys?
could see that they looked older for sure, and so it almost looked like they It almost looked like they tried to do some de-aging, but they didn't want to overdo it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because there were times where if you saw Anakin's face, he looked almost 25, 20 years ago age, but
Yeah.
other times he did not at all. It looked like, modern day. So I'm not sure how they did that.
It was his eyes.
I didn't find it really off-putting. I was like, whatever. Like,
I bought it. I'm in for this. Yeah.
I wasn't going to get too caught up in that part. But I love how they show them kind of sparring all throughout this episode. And it's, leaning into how they're like kind of playing chess with each other. And basically how Kenobi just owns Anakin as far as, mentally. He just knows exactly what he's going to do.
Question to you two.
Yeah.
This just kind of came to me as I was watching it for the second time. I went around and watched it again to take notes. And do you think that was Anakin taking the trials to become a full Jedi? Like that's part of the trials. They always talk about the trials.
No, I don't
I'm ready
think
for the
so.
trials, Master. Maybe that's one of the parts of the trials is you have to
Oh, that could
spar
be. With your master.
and beat them.
It could be training.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they do. Yeah.
It could be training for that. I don't know that was
He
part
says it
of
at
the
the
trial
end.
itself.
He's like, your need to prove yourself will always is what is your greatest downfall, and until you learn to conquer that, you will continue to be a Padawan. Then he hands him his lightsaber back.
Did you happen to, either of you note takers, did you guys happen to write down thematically how that fight tied into other things and how some of the moves that they were doing was in the fight from episode 3?
Well,
not episode 3, but the
Revenge
movie
of the
episode
Sith.
3. Yeah.
Yes. Well, certainly there were certain sequences where they were going like back and forth, like kind of the over the top little maneuvers that were straight out of that fight sequence. And clearly it's what we know. It's, Anakin's too aggressive and he's basically like, the best defense is a good offense, and Kenobi's trying to kind of temper him and be like, it's for defense. We're not here to take lives. We're here to defend.
Well, he
life.
definitely took some training to that because we see how he handles Reva.
Yes, he does. That's so freaking badass the way he does that later.
Also, how many training accidents do you think they have at the Jedi Temple?
Oh, man.
I'm like, why the fuck are they fighting with real
Yeah, can we
lightsabers?
use sticks?
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, I think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
I wonder how many what their OSHA record is.
It's a like a Darwinian thing, They're just like, well, fuck it. You
Yeah, I
lose in
guess so,
training,
yeah.
you weren't up for it anyway. Sorry.
Yep. Only the strong survive.
There's that guy walking around who lost his arm in just a sparring session. It's just shame, just straight
Accidentally
shame.
cuts Anakin's arm off.
It's the custodial.
Sorry,
They all get demoted to custodial staff. They're walking around dusting off relics.
with one arm. So to the bridge of Vader's Star Destroyer we go, where Vader rewards Reva for tracking them to Jabim by making her the new Grand Inquisitor. And she gets this sweet merit badge that she gets to pin on her uniform.
That was apparently already planned because of the other guy that said she's here. He fucking just slaps it on her.
Yeah, he was ready to go. They had this
Yeah.
whole. It was a very low key ceremony.
Yeah, it's like, Vader, so I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna say this. Okay, all
Right, got it. I
got it. Yeah.
You have the medal, right? Yeah, I got the medal.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, in Jabim, the rebels arrive, and they come off and they're like, "We got her," and everybody's like, "Oh, thank God!" And the sensitive man in me was like, "Nobody want to ask where Wade is? Fucking Wade
Nobody.
bought the farm. Nobody gives
Yeah.
a shit."
Yeah,
Poor Wade. It's like he's like the Porkins of this
it's already
show.
forgotten. Yeah.
And then Hodge is there. We talked about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenobi's like, basically telling Roken, we'll help you get these people off. And then he's going to try to get Leia back to Alderaan, presumably. And then he sees more of those wall scratchings. It was the light will fade, but is never forgotten or something like that. And then he sees this awesome stash of Jedi vibrators.
He sure did. And robes. I'm like, why are they traveling with those? Like, and it looked like they were. I was watching or reading something. Someone said it was from the Fallen. I was like, they're fucking like traveling with a bunch of Jedis. I thought,
They're just sitting in a crate.
But
there
they're
wasn't
sensitive
one?
kids. Force sensitive kids.
Okay. That's because I'm like, okay, so Obi-Wan Kenobi's the only one that fucking can use a lightsaber here.
Yeah, the kids haven't gotten to that point yet. They got to find their kyber crystal. There's a whole
You think
thing.
they'd have like a Jedi at every one of these outposts?
They're spread thin. No, where are the Jedi? They're almost all dead.
Well, where's what's his face?
There's this Order 66
Where's Leg Day
that
at?
came out, and they all died. But
Where's Leg Day?
He's dead.
I'm sorry, not Leg Day.
Quinlan Voss?
Yeah, where's
Quinlan Voss. Well, I don't know. Somebody was making the argument that one of those sabers was his, and that he's actually dead. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I'm not well versed in Quinlan Voss's saber to notice that detail, so I'm afraid I don't know. So then Vader orders the facility to be shut down because he's basically like, Kenobi's going to protect these people. This is the way to draw him out. And then we get evil Lola. Just that's so silly.
Undercover IT Lola as well.
Right.
Right, exactly. The Lola virus.
And she's very menacing when she gets angry.
I've got the red eye.
Yeah, I got the red eye.
She turns red and her eyebrows flutter. So just be careful. There's lots of gusts of wind coming your way.
I've dated people. I've seen that look like that. Like, oh no, I'm just gonna go to my room. And then she goes in that duct and shuts the door and shuts the facility down. And then we get another. That's when we get this flashback where there's that exchange between Kenobi and Anakin, where he's like, you're being too aggressive. We're supposed to defend life, not take it. And Anakin says, "Mercy doesn't defeat an enemy, Master." Like, okay, I love the back-to-back move there. What was that little dance move they're doing?
I
Like,
know, yeah. It's like, touch the tush.
You lean against me, I'm gonna lean right back. That way we ain't gotta sleep with our heads.
It's like how they catch a breath.
Yeah.
And then Reva and the troopers land on Jabeam and they start blasting the door. And Ben is sharing his plan. Like, we got to seal up the facility. It's almost like an A-team sequence. We gotta fucking close the doors. Got to seal it all up. Hold off the Empire as long as possible so they can slip away.
Everyone, put a bar across the door and weld it.
What's Cube Jr.'s name in the show?
Roken.
He's like, they've got this dastardly plan where they shut your garage door. We can't get you out. How long does it take you to get you open?
Couple of hours.
3 or 4 hours. I should have her up and running.
Come on, you ain't got like on the garage door. You ain't got the safety switch. You just pull the
know. You can't pull the red thing.
Lift it.
Right. No kidding. There's no emergency egress.
And not even like Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't even like, let me try to open it. Nothing.
Yeah.
We'll go up there with a couple of pry bars, start working her open. Come on, you guys.
Guy got some detonators. Or doesn't that fucking gun have some? Or the ship have some guns? Just point it up.
There's 30 guns, some on the surface, some on the towers.
I think Roken was doing the old under promise, over deliver. He's like, I could probably do it faster, but I'm just gonna say 3 to 4 hours.
You got an hour.
Give himself a little bit of a leeway.
Yeah, guys, I did it. I pulled it off.
Yeah,
and half the time, by the way.
He's a hero.
But then Leia's like, I got to get up there because he can't get the damn door to open. So she's gonna head up into the vents and fix the issue.
I need a ladder.
Yeah.
I trust her. Give her a ladder. Get this girl a ladder. It's like, what is this? Who's on first? Like everyone's shouting it out.
Yeah, ladder.
We need a ladder here.
Ladder in the front.
Where's George Costanza? We need a ladder here.
The ladders are on the outside of the hangar door. Shit.
Oh.
All right, form a pyramid. We'll get her up there.
Okay, can you get that door open to the other room for the ladders? Give me 3 hours. I got it. 4 hours.
3 hours.
Okay, yeah. He must be working on his union breaks.
Well, and then she crawls up into that vent and discovers a space that would probably make our friend Annalise have nightmares. There's just wires everywhere.
Yep.
That is not. Somebody did a poor job putting.
They
that
sure
together.
did.
It was a mess.
And then meanwhile, we have like the 501st outside the door assembling, and they got a heavy gun out there. They're blasting away at the.
Kaboom!
Did you guys notice that Reva like tries to like command them to fire every time? Like she's like, what'd she say? Fire! She screams it, and then like they reload. She's like, light it up! She's got
like the captain of a pirate ship.
Yeah. She's got like a catchphrase. I'm like, if this keeps going on for a while, she's gonna lose her voice. She's screaming out.
What's the 80s movie? All I can hear it's an 80s movie, and the lady's always just shouting commands. She's like little
the girl from Austin Powers.
Yes,
send in the gods.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, right before that though is when Ben gets that message from Bale, who gives way too much information. Dude, this is not encrypted.
I know you said no contact, but I've not heard from you, so I'm going to go to Tatooine and find Owen and keep an eye on the boy.
Right. I mean, what are you doing, man?
He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it in the the KGB anytime soon or CIA.
Was not his best move.
He's not gonna.
Was it one of those like? Do you have to like listen to your message before you send it? And he's like, yeah, that worked. Or is it one of those? He sends it. He's like,
I don't think.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I use names.
I don't think he's gonna be heading up the spy network in Andor. He's just,
no, it's like the next day he's trying to go to bed at night and he's like, did I say Luke? I didn't say Luke. It's like I didn't say Luke, but I did say. Oh, fucking! Why did I say Owen? God, that was so dumb.
How many Owens are on Tatooine?
Kicking himself. Of course, she knows. By the way, Reva knows who the fuck Owen is.
Right, that's true. Yeah, she's already got up in his face.
We're gonna see part 6 pop off, and it's just gonna be him fucking laying in his bed, looking up at the ceiling. He's like, "Why was I so thirsty?" I was too. I couldn't just wait. Couldn't just hold my ground. I was just,
The boy on Tatooine, you fucking idiot. Why would I say that? God. He knows where the boy is. I could have just said the boy.
Or he could be like, I'll do what we talked about. Right? That's so easy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was not smart by Bale.
But that's how you get one whole Reva down to Tatooine for one last move.
They're connecting some dots there for something.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. You also get a little bit of the Tala story, kind of how she accidentally led a slaughter of Force-sensitive children by accident on Gorel. Do you remember Gorel from Rebels? I think it was season 3, maybe. They had their base there for a while.
It's part of Lothal, right?
It's near Lothal. I don't think I think it's a different. Yeah. So I thought that was a nice little callback. or call it whatever. I guess that'd be a call forward technically.
Yep.
Well, she reveals her notches on her holster thing. She pulls
For everyone she saves.
Yeah, she pulls her blaster out.
I mean, some of us put notches on our bedpost.
I'd like to be a notch on her bedpost if I could.
Right.
If I could volunteer.
So
Just check it off my list.
I mean, I would say coming up, your time has run out.
Who of us have slept with an Imperial officer / rebel spy? I mean,
Okay.
you guys don't have that on your
that's a
yet.
goal. That's a
Bucket
goal
list?
for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Well, this
Someday.
did happen a long time ago, so
in a galaxy far, far away.
it's like wanting to have sex with Cleopatra or something. It's not going to happen.
Role play.
Anyway,
2 words.
role play. This is where Ben's like, I'll buy us time. Like, I'm going to go talk to her. So he goes over and, touches the door, and she comes up, and they have this lovely conversation.
As part of his conversation with Anakin, he says there's more way to have a conversation than, win a fight or whatever he says. So he leaves his lightsaber behind. And this is where he hands it over to Haja.
The world's
Yes.
worst babysitter /
Hey,
holder of.
hold my things.
Well, and so then he's talking to her, and that's when he figures it out. It's
Yes.
exactly what we thought. You were there. You were a youngling. You saw what Anakin did. That's why you know who he is, because Vader would definitely not be sharing the fact that his name is Anakin. She talks about how she, plays dead and hides with the bodies, which is pretty much why that warning came up on the beginning of the show. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I think they added that warning to the first part. But
The first episode as well. They did.
But I don't remember seeing it when I watched the first time. Maybe they've added it since or something like that because of the Uvalde thing happened after. I can't remember. But either way, yeah, he goes, you're not serving him, you're hunting him.
Yeah. But I like the twist with her where she was using Obi-Wan only as bait to get close to Anakin to kill him.
Yes, although you could argue that she wouldn't mind killing Obi-Wan also just because she's pissed at him. She says, where were you? Where the fuck were you?
I never got the idea that she was just like, okay, I got to kill Vader. You can go now.
Right. I think it's more like I'm using you to get to my main goal here, but I'll probably
You're still on my list.
Yeah, I'll probably cap you in the end because she's pissed off. She's like, where were you while we were getting slaughtered? While all my friends were dying.
That's what she does every night when she's alone. She's like Steve Buscemi in the Adam Sandler movie.
She's got that list.
She's got her assassin list, and then she just fucking smears on lipstick on her face.
That would be was that Billy Madison? Billy Madison.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so and he says, we want the same thing. And that's when she says, do you really want him dead? And he has to pause. Because of course he still doesn't want him dead.
That's the most powerful scene, I thought, in this entire episode where she's like, do you though? Do you really want him dead?
He's going to try to save him. The same as Luke did, He's like, there's still good in you. When they have this fight, he is going to struggle with, and then he's going to realize, I'm going to have to fake my own fucking death here to get out of this.
And you could make the argument that if he wanted him dead, he'd be dead because all he had to do is walk down to the lava shores of Mustafar and just turn his saber on at the top of
push
his
the
head.
bobber into the lava.
Maybe go headshot, not body shot.
Maybe not a stomach shot, is what you're saying?
Yes. I saw somebody post a meme about that. I think it was a shot of the Grand Inquisitor and it was the Thanos. You should have gone for the head.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's pissed, about that. So she's mad at both of them. But it was funny because when she said, where were you? I think she meant that in general, like how, this was your Padawan. Where were the Jedi? Okay, yeah. Because I wanted to be like, he was on Utapau getting shot at by Cody.
Yep.
When that all happened. Yeah, I was a little busy.
You have no idea what I was going through. Jeez.
I was riding a lizard on a wall getting shot at.
I know, yeah.
I just killed Grievous.
A fucking lizard.
So then she finally figures out, you know what? I'm going to slice right through this door and slice your little barricade and open the door.
Yeah.
So that was too easy.
Ta-da.
And then he does the force push and shoves her and all the troopers back. That was pretty badass.
That was pretty badass.
Which I think culminates in them trying to show you that he's getting his powers damn near restored. Because he pushes her back quite a ways and then knocks back probably 25 troopers too.
Yep. And then he's like, I'm going to block all your fucking laser beams.
Yeah, he's certainly getting more and more comfortable with the saber in his hand again because the firefight that ensues, he's standing at the front just holding people off. I do love the fact that Roken is smoking fools with a bowcaster a la Chewbacca. That was pretty awesome. He posted on Twitter, he's like, did anybody catch that it was triple barrel? It was triple barrel. I looked at it the second time, like, it is triple barrel.
Super powered.
And then she drops a little Shakespeare on us. Into the breach! Sending all the troopers in there.
Once more into the breach.
Yeah.
Good friends.
And then as they retreat, Tala and NED-B, sounds like a rapper, NED-B on the mic, are
1 2 1 2.
they're holding the line, and you can just see it coming.
Oh yeah.
It's coming for a while. You just know she's going to take one, and so she gets shot in the stomach. NED-B's getting blasted, a la K2SO in Rogue One.
I like
and then
that
they
he
have
like
this
turns
moment.
around and walks toward her though, and he like becomes like her cover.
Well, he has a little badassery right before that. He's blasting stormtroopers, and then he like throws one into the
Yeah, he
roof,
did
and
the
then
Chewie
throws another one out into
Yep.
the knocks a couple.
Well, the funny part is right before he throws him, he has his gun out, and one of the troopers walks by and just slaps his hand and then slaps the gun away, and he's like, "Well, fuck you," and that's when he picks him up and chucks him. But yeah, he turns, and they have like this little emotional moment between NED-B and Tala where they're looking at each other like, "Well, we're dead." And then when she turns and says to Ben, holds up the thermal detonator, shoots the door, and says, "May the force be with you." That got me a little bit. That was that was a great moment.
That was probably one of the most powerful moments too. I was trying to, I thought that one. I was like, that choked me up a little bit. Like I was like, ugh.
She went out a hero.
She did. Went out strong.
How many notches do you think she got on her belt for that one?
3.
Take it.
And then Vader tells Reva to stand down because he's like, Kenobi's already lost.
Yeah.
It's still this mind game that's so, that's playing parallel to their little battle on Coruscant, which is really cool. I like the way they did that the whole way. And then we get that, because we get that flashback sequence where he's demanding Obi-Wan, admit you lost. You've lost your weapon. Admit it.
Yep. Yeah.
Ben's like, it's over. And Rogan's like, what?
Yeah.
Don't be a freaking wimp, man.
So
but he's like, he's got us. He knows
this is sort of like they're tying back into like he's still not like Kenobi, right? So he's still like beat and torn and whatever, and he's like, I just throw my hands up, and then he's like, oh wait, hold on, I'm gonna go talk to her.
Is it that, or does he have the plan the whole way?
Or he also, he does a parallel to Luke and Jedi. Luke turns over his lightsaber and surrenders and goes up and basically goes into the chambers with the Emperor and Vader by turning himself in.
Right. Yeah, and then just has a talk out with him.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a powwow.
Little rap session.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he really believes it when he says this is over. I think that's all part of him just knowing what the next step is that he has to take.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like the firefight part is over. Like what's
next?
Like
this isn't going to work, so we need to do something else here. But I think Roken and them are taking it as like, so you're just going to fucking give up, and that's when he gives up all his gear and shit. He's like, I'm going to go, and they're like, you're going to go without your weapon?
Yeah,
Are you crazy?
So they kind of bring him to Reva, and he's like, he's not going to Vader. He tells her, he's like, I'm not going to Vader. I'm bringing Vader to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, he's like, we can take her together type of a deal, right?
Well, and he also says, there's people, innocent people and children in there. You gonna let him do that to them too? Like, oh, fucking.
So my thing was, he's like, there's families in there, and I was like thinking to myself, you know who else had a family? Reva, that bitch whose hand you cut off on Tatooine.
Yeah,
she had a family, and now she's getting unemployment and on disability. Can't fucking feed her kids because she ain't got a fucking hand.
The lippy ginger.
Yeah, she can't go work cutting up crate dragon meat.
Nope, you need both hands for that.
Whatever sea monster meat. Like, you fucked her for life. You're supposed to be this undercover good person.
And I love how the whole time she's doing that thing where she's like, she's kind of whispering so the troopers don't overhear. She's like, how do you think he's not going to know this is coming? And that's when he's like, he's just going to be focused on me, which is 100% true.
Sure.
In the end, she just delayed her attack way too long. She should have got him when he was fucking with that ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Step up behind him.
Yep. Right in the asshole.
Yeah. But then she just sends him back. She's like, okay, well, send him back in with the troopers into the compound. And that's when you get another little flashback where Obi-Wan says, your need for victory blinds you.
Yep.
Well, then I think what happens next is, I think that's when the Lola virus attacks Leia pretty weakly.
Yeah.
That thing's not going to do a whole lot. Like when it went after Reva a few episodes ago, come on. That thing's doing nothing. Like a little gnat. But I love how she finds a restraining bolt. Oh, that's better. And he's just fine.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah.
All better.
But she gets the doors open, and then that's when Vader walks in, comes down, fucking goes in. I'll bring him in myself. Straight like, what's that from? Is that from A New Hope or is that from? No, it's not from A New Hope. Is it from Return of the Jedi? Vader says, because there's a one of those movies, he says, leave them to me, I will deal with them myself. He says a very similar line here.
Yes.
I will bring him in myself. I'm forgetting which movie that was originally from.
Oh, that's when he's in the cockpit of the TIE fighter and they're doing the Death Star run, right? Where he's like, I'll take him myself, or I'll take them myself.
I thought it was
talking to his other.
I almost thought it was
Ace
Return
pilots?
of the Jedi when they go on the. It's when they have it's an older code, but it checks out, and they go down to the plant to Endor. Piet or whatever his name is like, do you want us to get him? And he's like, leave him with me. I'll deal with him myself. I think it was Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Anyway,
He does say it a few times, though. I think you're right.
he's a micromanager. He can't delegate.
He fucking I love being impressed by Vader every time we're seeing him now, though. Like every time he's pulling something, like he drags fucking people out of their fucking windows and shit, murders them, snaps necks. The next time you see, like he just comes storming down the hallway and fucking Reva's floating and he's ready to snap her neck. Yeah. And then this guy, he's going down the hallway, fucking doors open up, that ship goes on. He's like, and just drags it back.
And then rips the thing apart like quickly.
Yeah. Like so you're. Fuck, that was the coolest scene of the whole fucking thing. Like, just like he's holding it. You can tell he's struggling.
I want to at least see the pilot like, ooh.
It's NED-C.
NED-C. He's like, where's my brother? Where's my brother? He's gone.
You seen a Ned? Looks just like me, different color paint.
No, they're like, so
Older
NED-C, you're going to be the decoy. I'm going to be the what?
He's like, you ain't got a brother.
You don't have a brother anymore.
Your brother's dead.
Your brother's gone.
Meanwhile, NED-A's on the other freighter serving cocktails. Like, sorry, bro.
With a very trembling hand.
I'm next.
So yeah, and then you also get this kind of this flashback at that point of Obi-Wan outsmarting Anakin. And he like pulls the saber back and and that's when he says, your need to prove yourself is your undoing, and until you overcome that, a Padawan you will still be. Mm-hmm. And this is playing into the whole proving yourself thing is obviously a big one that carries on all the way throughout their relationship into the original trilogy and everything. That whole I was but the learner, now I'm the master thing. Like he's so hell-bent on having the upper hand and being the better Jedi or being the more powerful person than Obi-Wan that he's just so fucking focused on it and blinded by his rage.
Yep.
Pride cometh before the fall, gentlemen.
It's true.
So the ship takes off, and all of a sudden we get the angry woman behind him.
Why didn't you just do like a Kylo, ignite it right into his back? She ignites it and goes way too long. And not that it probably mattered because he knew the whole fucking thing was coming. He was ready for the whole thing.
Right. Which I need a flashback scene of this. Like, let me see the how'd you connect these dots? How long did you know? And did the Inquisitor did he know? He's like, well, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take one to the gut, take one for the team. We'll make sure you're better in a little bit.
Well, that does beg the question that how did she know Vader was Anakin? Because if you look back at the flashbacks that come through, right, she's seeing Anakin without all of the gear.
I think it's just, seeing Anakin, knowing Anakin was killed, then the pop-up of Vader immediately, right?
Yeah, but why wouldn't Ben know that exact same thing?
And because he was so close to Palpatine.
Yeah, but Ben had all that information too. Obi-Wan had no idea.
No, Ben does know. He just doesn't know he's alive. But he knows that Anakin is Vader.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He knows now.
He knows now, but
he knew then. He saw the video, the security video of him slaughtering the kids, and then he sees the shot of Palpatine saying, "Rise, Vader." He knows Vader is Anakin.
Yeah, but why is he so shocked?
He's shocked he's alive. He doesn't think he's alive. He thought he was dead because he kills him after that sequence that he saw in the little video clip. That's when he goes to fight him on Mustafar and thinks he died. But he knows that Anakin is Vader.
Well, they just don't know of like this guy.
He knew of Vader. He didn't know Anakin was Vader.
He didn't know about Vader. He didn't know Vader was alive. I think Vader was not as big of a figure as everybody
in the galaxy
thinks he was to that point.
So there's no monthly memos from the Empire shooting down to Tatooine.
Well, he's not a celebrity so they're in the Outer Rim and they know the Empire is still alive and
Ben's way cut off. Ben's like totally cut off from everything. He doesn't read the newspaper. He doesn't watch the HoloNet. He is just completely cut off from all reality. But he knows because if you go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, he is sitting there watching the video.
I know that. Yes.
Yeah, when Palpatine says, "Rise, Vader."
Yeah.
So he knows.
Only transmissions he's getting is from a overwrought Bail Organa, just wringing his hands, nervous.
Oh, so she fights him, and this is a fantastic fight because he is just toying with her the whole way.
Oh yeah,
using the Force, not even pulling out a saber. Never pulls his saber out. Uses hers, but never pulls his own.
Yeah, he breaks her Inquisitor thing in half and throws it to her. He's like, "Come with it. Come on, let's see what you got."
It's like the Force version of putting your hand over your younger brother's forehead and being like, "Come on, hit me."
It reminded me of Kill Bill, where she's carrying the water buckets up the trail. She fights the master, and he's just like hands behind his back, like moving his shoulders, stepping side to side, and she's swinging and missing nonstop. Yeah. And he's like doing fucking hand signals, like fucking mime.
That's what got the consultant, was the one where he lifts up her saber and then shoves her. Like he does like a lift and then a push. Yeah. He just thought that was hilarious. But then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go spinny mode. She's like screaming and the whole time, like she knows she is so fucked, and so she's just like trying to win on straight rage.
Haymakers, whatever she can. Yeah.
And so she goes spinny, and he's like, "Spinny, really? That's gonna?"
Because he even does like she's behind him, and he does a force like he just stops her without turning around.
Yeah. It's the no look. It's the no look. No look force push.
He's a cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, and then so she does the spinny thing. And he slows it down to a stop. I was like waiting for the sad trombone to play.
Yep. And that's when he grabs it from her, right? And then he fucking cracks it in two and
then gives it back.
Chucks her the one that's not ignited anymore. Yeah.
Did you think when he first at the end when he gets both blades back and she's on her knees? Did you think he was going to go Dooku? Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing.
Beheading. Yes. I thought that was coming for sure, but he spares her. Although we get this this sequence where she's having this flashback to when she's encountered him in the temple on Order 66, and he stabs her as Anakin, and it made me think back to part 3, maybe? Can't remember which part. But there's a sequence in there where, and I don't know if I mentioned on our show at the time, but I noticed it and thought, they never show shit like that for no reason. When Fifth Brother does like the force slam into the desk, like where she walks in and he tries to like force slam her face into the table.
Yeah.
And she's like holds herself up. Uh-huh. Right after that, she touches her stomach. I don't know if you remember that. She reaches down and touches her stomach. That's where she got stabbed as a kid.
Okay.
So if you look back on that episode, you'll see it. It's very quick. Okay. But she literally like touches her stomach. And I thought it was weird at the time. I was like, why is she doing that? What is that? What is that for? And that's why I think is because he did stab her as a kid. Yep. She played dead with all the dead, with all the other dead bodies.
And the rage kept her alive.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the things people are getting real mad about. Nobody's ever dead. People keep getting sabered. Yeah. And I think people have made a good point on that, which is that's one of the benefits of the dark side is you have all this hate and rage, and it somehow fuels you to stay alive, right? Because you're not like at peace, like you want to fucking kill something so bad or get revenge so much that it drives you to stay alive.
Also, it's the perfect weapon in the world to be injured by, because as soon as it
cauterizes
the entire wound.
Yeah, as long as you miss the major organs, I think you're fine.
Big hole here.
Or stab one of two stomachs.
That too, right? Exactly, with the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
So that was a cool sequence, but then you're thinking, so why do they let? Well, of course, first of all, Grand Inquisitor walks in, and he's just, I mean, he might as well have his dick out. He's just like, ha ha! Didn't think I'd see me again, huh?
I told you. Quit fucking around.
I love how he says goodbye, Grand Inquisitor, to her, like right as he's putting the medal back on himself.
Yes.
He's like, revenge does wonders.
It's the sweetest joy
for
in
the will to live, don't you think? Fucking golly, tone it down a bit, GI.
But then they leave her.
He's like, I was recently stabbed in the stomach myself. I had a full recovery. We're just gonna let you chill,
So it doesn't make sense because Vader doesn't leave, but then the fact that they kind of say, we brought you in off the streets like a rat or whatever, we're going to let you. So basically, she killed herself.
I think what it's meant to be is like the ultimate fuck you, I'm going to leave you here. Almost like Obi-Wan did to Anakin. I'm not going to put you out of your misery. I'm going to leave you here to die.
Yep.
But don't you kind of know that she did get stabbed in a similar place before, and she might come back and that might haunt you in the end? No?
And also the Grand Inquisitor just recovered from a wound very similar.
Very similar?
There was three people. There's 3 people in this room. Two of them
have stomach wounds.
2 of them have survived sabers to the stomach. One of them twice now.
You're going to walk away from this.
But you know what?
I promise.
We're not going to take your past experiences or your operating experience. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to drive forward. Yeah. Go ahead.
We have not learned a lesson.
There's a dumb movie that you probably have never heard of, but it's called Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. It was Steve Martin. Oh, you've seen, okay.
It's black and white.
Yeah, black and white, all cut with old movies. And in one of the plot points of the movie, he keeps getting shot in the arm in the same spot. And so like the second or third time it happens, he goes, this is never going to heal. That's what I thought about with Reva. She's like, I got stabbed in the same place again. This thing's never going to heal. Oh, fuck.
Now, do you think when she finds her way to Tatooine, she's going to run into DJ Fixer-Upper guy?
It's a good question. is she going to have to wait that long to get there to fix herself up? Like, how is she going to make it that far? 'Cause she's really struggling. How's she going to get out of there?
NED-D.
NED-D.
He's coming out of the cave.
Well, she got there, so she's probably got a ship there,
You
right?
guys forget me.
There's a whole bunch of us.
NED-D through Z come walking out. Looks like
We
you
will
could
be your army.
use a hand.
It's Wade's brother. He comes out. I was trapped in the bathroom the whole time.
I
Where's
wanted
my
to bring this
brother?
up at the beginning
Max
where
Rebo, parachutes.
everyone's hanging out in the cave and the ship lands and they all come walking out and like, oh, we got the girl, you know. There's the one dude with a hat on, right?
Yeah.
He looks like the gumpy white dude that's like obsessed with Neo in the Matrix movies.
Oh yeah,
Mouse?
I can't.
Yes, Mouse. Yeah.
I thought that's who I thought Wade was. I thought Wade.
Yeah, he kind of
like,
looks like that.
like that mouse guy from
Okay.
from the Matrix.
Well, what's funny is there's a number of like Star Wars like YouTubers and shit that were extras. They were all
Yes.
pointing it out all
Yes,
over
they were
YouTube. They're
pointing
like,
out-
"This is
yeah,
me. This
Twitter
is me. This
blew
is me."
up after the episode that day. Yeah, everyone's sharing pictures in their circles like, there I am in this. Yep.
Yeah, that's so funny. So then they go finally to the ship and they show Roken come back to Ben. He's like, so hyperdrive's broken and they're right behind us. So I'm like, oh no, are we going to get a slow speed
It's the last
space
Jedi.
chase again?
You thought you just took the words out of my mouth. Episode 8.
Yeah.
If they do it, I will fucking burn it to the ground. I will burn the entire series to the ground. Don't ruin it now. I'm saying, please, please.
So do you think that's because I was thinking we're gonna pick up and basically they're on Alderaan, dropping her off. Leia's done. We gotta. But I'm like,
One would think.
We've been trying to
Right.
get rid of Leia.
I love
since
Leia
episode-
too.
From part
but I'm
one.
just assuming at some point she's got to be done.
So where's Obi-Wan and Kenobi have the fight? 'Cause it's
Obi-Wan
not
and
gonna be
Kenobi,
on-
they're not going to fight.
I'm sorry,
they
Vader.
fight
They're
in
not
his
gonna
head
do it
all
on
day long.
Tatooine. They're not bringing Vader to Tatooine.
He's trying to channel Kenobi the entire time.
Well, hold
That's
on.
his alter
Before
ego.
let's get to that in a second. I just want to wrap up.
Okay.
So really quickly, he says Ben kind of senses something's wrong. That's when Reva finds fucking Bale's goddamn the
Yeah.
pager from Bale, and he reveals that information. She's like, I know it. I know Owen. I know
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
And so you're left to believe like what's
This
gonna
could
happen.
not have come at a better time.
And then you get that tight shot on Ben's worrying eyes, and then
Yeah.
the cool shot into the Lars homestead and the shot of Luke.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a cool way that they ended it.
They should have had Luke wake up like there's a disturbance in the Force.
Yeah, I thought they might do that actually.
Yeah.
Can I get a glass? Aunt Beru, can I get a glass of water?
I had a nightmare.
Water on this
Go to-
planet? No.
Go to bed.
So there's two main things. How where is Ben gonna go? Like they got to get rid of Leia. He's got to get to Tatooine. How could he possibly get there and bring Vader there? And then what's Reva doing? Like she's gonna go there, but is she going there to kill Luke? Is she going there because she thinks Vader will end up there and she wants another shot at him? Like that's just her only play, I guess. Like I was trying to figure out like what's her move gonna be when she gets to Tatooine? Is she really gonna do something to Luke? She's not gonna kill another youngling, essentially.
I don't think she's going there to do something to Luke. If she does go there, she's going there to protect him.
Oh,
Right? Because she's trying to save the younglings. She fucking was one herself. That's her whole
I
mission.
don't know. I don't see like her redemption. I see a redemption possibly happening, but I don't see what just happened to her. Like she's like, I'm gonna go be the good guy, go watch over this kid.
Well, she was playing double agent the entire time. She was good. She's supposedly good.
I know she's not.
she's not good. She's just motivated by her revenge.
Okay,
Yeah.
selfish then. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's just
Self-serving.
like one track mind. Yeah. Well, and so if the fucking hyperdrive's busted, how are they going to get out of that jam? I don't know how they're going to.
Tractor beam, suck him into the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
New Hope again. They're gonna fucking storm come in there. They're gonna get him,
Same
take him all
thing.
fucking prisoner.
Same thing.
Obi-Wan's gonna sneak through the fucking tunnels. And we're gonna get the whole thing with doot 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 doot.
He's gonna
turn off the tractor
turn off
beam
tractor beam
so the ship can get away. Yeah.
Are we going to see TK421? Is he going to be at his post this time?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, there's a lot of ways they could go with it, and that's why I thought it was so interesting because it seemed to kind of focus in on like those are kind of the two main pieces that we have to figure out what's going to happen next. So that first like 5 or 10 minutes, that next part are going to be quite revealing because right now I have no idea how they're going to do that. How are they going to keep Vader away from there?
Well, because
He can't go there.
I could see a bunch of ships coming out of hyperspace that are backup for them, right?
Oh, okay. I
And
see what
then
you're
Vader's
saying.
like, "Well, we're not gonna fucking show up there yet, but we'll see where they're gonna go."
So somebody's going to come to their aid to get them
Yeah.
out of there. That
Yeah.
could be. That'd be
And
kind
then
of cool.
he's like, "See you, Leia. It's nice meeting you. Ta ta for now." They're gonna take you home
Later.
Yeah.
I gotta go check on
And
your
then
brother.
he's gonna hop
He's
on
gonna
a
go. I
ship.
gotta go check on your brother. I mean, this other guy.
Yeah. He'll hop on a ship. He'll start heading toward Tatooine. He'll be sucked out of hyperdrive. They can do that. And then Vader's like, come here. And they have a space fight. Get over here. On top of a ship.
There's no way Vader ends up on Tatooine. First of all, the motherfucker hates sand. We know that. He's not going to go down there. I will not go down there.
Just stop him before he gets there.
Too late.
I will not deal with it myself then.
Who's cool with going down to the surface? Not me.
I could see the Inquisitors coming for him and taking him to Vader.
That could be it. I still think Reva's going to die somehow. And even though she's not technically an Inquisitor, she's been booted out of the Inquisitor order.
Yeah.
I could see another one dying. I don't want to pick on Fourth Sister, but I just don't see. I see her being like a sacrificial. Some Inquisitor's got to die person.
Yeah, because she's there sometimes, she's not sometimes.
Right. And we know Grand Inquisitor's going to make it. We know Fifth Brother's
Yep.
going to make it. So that would make sense. I could see that happening. I just was trying to figure out they've got to keep him away. There's got to be a way in the end. I mean, I think Ty asked this question before in another episode as well, but is that how does he end up on Tatooine without without Vader knowing he's there and protecting Luke and he doesn't know who Luke is? That's tough to bring that all together.
I say it ends with him finally, after the fight with Vader and whatever happens, Vader's like, oh, he's not around anymore. And he goes to Tatooine and Reva's there and they have a conversation. And she's like, I've always loved you. And then season 2 is they're married.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Just me.
But he's got to think Obi-Wan dies.
And
right?
then Finn is their child.
There you go. but and then he's left on his own accord and he ends up having to be a stormtrooper in the end. That's bullshit. Way to go, Ben. I just don't understand. There's got to be a way that it ends with Vader thinking Obi-Wan's dead, and somehow attention is steered away from Tatooine.
But like I said last week, doesn't he say at last we meet again?
No, I think they're going to meet again. I think there's still going to be some sort of...
No, in A New Hope.
No, I know, but I still think there might be a meeting between them in this last part.
Oh, so you're saying he's left for dead because there's a second season, maybe they'll have a fight again.
Or it happens in this part, if they want to wrap it up this way, and he thinks that Obi-Wan has perished somehow.
This has a potential to be a big turd for the Star Wars universe because there's going to be some, maybe it's something as simple as like Vader pushes him off a bridge into a pit of lava, but Ben goes underneath and he's holding on to the bottom of the bridge. You know what I mean? Like if they do something really super simple and come on, Obi-Wan would have Vader would have known better or whatever.
It's got to be something like he is in a place that explodes. Like something happens where it seems like there's no possible way Kenobi could have survived whatever happened. So he's assuming that he's dead. That's the only way that you could do it without it feeling totally, odd that he wouldn't be so driven to make damn sure he's dead. Like that guy wants to see the body,
Yeah.
So
yeah. He wants it in the Inquisitorium in the Amber fucking museum, the wax museum.
See, that's what I feel like they're going to end up fighting at, the Inquisitorium.
You think they're going to fight there?
Yeah, well, because the Inquisitors will bring him back to the Inquisitorium. They're going to call the old Mustafar Moon. It's in the backdrop there. And he's like, oh, I'm at home. Hold on. I got to take a pee real quick, and I'll be over there. Fucking Vader's got to arm up and shit. Get his oxygen
17 and a
ready.
half minutes.
They put the arms in the wrong arms.
Yeah.
Backward.
Put my suit on.
Shit.
Feeling left-handed today.
Good thing I'm ambidextrous.
He tells as he's getting armed, he's like, give me the long arms.
What?
That's the key to taking Vader out. You got to catch him when he's floating armless and legless in his back to tank.
Kill the turd.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Darth?
No, then it turns into like Bewitched. He just wrinkles his nose and force shit happens.
Yeah, that's true. He still has this force powers to protect him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But season 2 has been thrown around. Like, is there going to be a season 2? So there were some recent interviews that like Ewan and Hayden and Deborah Chow all have kind of said things about it. So Ewan said, I hope it's not the last time I play him. I'm sure we can think of a few more stories before I turn into Alec Guinness, don't you think? I thought that was kind of funny. And then Deborah Chow was talking about how she's like, there's still another 10 years before A New Hope. So there's time for more stories. She said, I think even watching him right across the sand sometimes is interesting. So who knows? They did also say that this was meant to be a beginning, middle, and end story.
This is but just because there's a standalone story doesn't mean there's not more stories.
They can certainly leave it
Kenobi.
open-ended in a way. I'm just dying to figure out how they put a bow on this thing, considering what we know is going to come down the line. I just don't know how they're going to do that.
Season 2, we just delve into Ben's hobbies out on Tatooine to keep him occupied. Turns into leatherworking. making wallets, selling them to the Jawas. Turns into some Bob Ross painting out on the little sandscape. You just got to do a little dep.
Maybe like because he's stealing all that meat all the time. Not always does he feed it to his Eobi. Yeah. Sometimes he's like storing it. So like now he's got enough like in a freezer somewhere. He's like, I'm gonna open up a blimpie.
Or he starts up a fucking
starts shaving meat and serving sandwiches to people.
It's one of those underground pig roasts.
He works at the lunch food line at Luke's school.
Check out Ben's smoked meats.
Who's that crazy guy who serves up our food? Oh, don't worry about him.
And that's
Have
where
some
he
more
runs into,
sloppy joes.
into the what's his face from on Coruscant, the guy that works at the diner.
Dex Jetster.
Yes, he brings him in and they're running the school lunchroom together.
That guy's got a bunch of hands. He's very useful. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do because it's pretty open right now on how they're going to wrap it. So, but let's get a fucking hour. Give us an hour. Take your time. At least,
yeah.
You know,
this is why they don't let us take control of the series.
Right. This is the one reason.
This is the one.
Every other.
Otherwise, it totally makes sense.
Completely qualified.
Favloni, they're listening every week. They're like, thank God we went the other way.
Yeah, that would have been a mistake. These guys don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
Anything else on Kenobi, or should we go to the Maul Bag?
I'm good till next week.
Okay.
Hello there.
You've got mail.
Kenobi!
I did also ask the Authorian historian. I was like, if you got a new Maul Bag drop, we'll take it. All right, we got 3 Maul Bags. First one up, email number 1 from Derek. He's back. I love it too because he does it through the site. He does it through, I think he posts on like our little website in the post because I just get an email that says website comment. I wanted to give Matt a shout out so he isn't jealous of Neighbor Cole's growing fan base. Now he's got to give Jay a shout out too.
Yeah.
That's next. You are important, Matt. Don't ever forget that. Thanks a lot, Derek. I will say this was the best overall episode so far. I only had a few questions. 1, as angry as Reva is, how could she mask her real motivation so long from Vader?
Spoiler alert, she didn't.
Yeah.
He was pretty aware of it.
Did you
Your
think I would?
feelings betray you.
Did you think I didn't know it was you, youngling?
Yeah, I know. The youngling call out was nice. Oh, man.
Damn.
Isn't it kind of weird that the orbiting Imperial ship just lets the rebel ship just fly away? Well, maybe they left on the other side. You know, they stayed.
We've touched on this before.
Yeah.
On, was it Rebels? Like, how do you... you can't circumvent the entire
You
planet.
gotta go the other side. You just keep going. You stay low in the atmosphere, and then you come out on the other side where they don't see you.
Gotta pop up.
Number 3, since apparently in Kenobi it is easy to survive someone running a lightsaber through your body, don't you find it hard to believe they leave Reva alive after she has betrayed Vader? So that's what we already kind of talked about. Where is this sudden bout of mercy? Do the writers just basically refuse to let her die? Enter Reva spin-off series. Well, what was that post? Didn't you share it? That Twitter post where it was talking about they're wanting to do a Reva series. Was that you that shared that? Yeah. I think it was never like corroborate. Like there was no other person.
It was the only one that I saw was that. Yeah.
Right. Thanks again for a great show, especially Matt. Thanks, Derek.
You know what, Matt? I'm kind of jealous. Quit trying to fucking steal my fan base, all right? This is my fan. He's my loyal follower.
It's your number 1 only fan.
Yes.
I think it's the only shout I'm going to get, but we'll see. Email number 2 from Mike Laborn.
Oh, yeah.
He says, what does the 5th brother keep in his hat?
Sandwiches.
I was going to say Lunchables, maybe?
Yeah.
He's got, like, snacks.
I do question, like, everyone seems to have some type of headgear except for Reva. Like, you don't get shit.
Yeah, the 4th sister just has almost like a bald cap or something on. Like she's got some little clothes.
Wiffle ball. That's more like a what do you call it?
It's like a skin hat. That's not.
It's
right.
like
I almost said skin hat. What is that?
It's sort of like a shower. What's that? Where you get they pull your hair through the holes, you know, and then like it's just tied down
to highlight your hair.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking it was maybe like one of those old timey not fighter pilot, but like
I see the leather helmet.
Yeah.
Right.
Football helmet.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that could be. I was thinking maybe he has one of those larynx voice boxes. He just refuses to use it because that's why we can't understand what he's saying. Like, just use the box. I'm not going to use it.
Maybe he was like the 5th brother was born. Like, you know, sometimes you got like a flat spot in your head. And he's like real ashamed of it.
His parents,
So he
his
just, like,
parents never turned him.
cover it up with this big old hat.
I was taken away by CPS. Chuckles.
Where's
I'm
my hat?
essential.
Where's my hat? Anybody walks in his quarters when he's like, just sitting casual. Where's my hat?
Maybe he wears it because he's ashamed of the neck rolls on the back of his head like I do. Like, it looks like two guys fighting over a hot dog.
Oh man. Email number 3 from Derek. He's back.
Oh boy.
Does he get 2 entries into the spreadsheet for this? For one
he
episode?
does. Not only were
Okay.
these separate emails, they came like a couple days apart. So 2 separate,
All right.
Okay.
Hey guys, I decided to follow in the footsteps of neighbor Cole and watch the episode a second time. I have
Wise man.
very wise. Do you turn on the captions, Derek? Is that what you do?
First of all, what kind of Star Wars
Pro tip.
only watches the episode once?
I watch it once for pure enjoyment.
Yep.
Nothing, and then I'll just mentally take notes. and then I
second time.
I go through with a more scrutinous eye and take my notes and try to pause it, write in stuff, play it again.
I watch it thrice.
Wow.
Because I watch it by myself when it drops for enjoyment. Then I watch it with the fam the next day, and then I watch it one more time for notes.
Oh.
Thrice. I just
you should combine 2 and 3 and piss your family off. Pause.
Hold on,
Hang
guys.
I gotta capture
Would you
this.
turn the goddamn captions off? What did that say?
I recruited my daughter. We were watching Stranger Things, and she's like, "Dad, thanks to you, I can't watch TV without captions anymore."
Oh
It's like,
boy.
My fucking kids watch it now with captions.
I'm convinced that people who don't watch TV with captions on just can't read fast enough.
That's all I
It's
do. I just
distracting.
read it. I need to
distracting.
take in the whole story, the
It's not
picture.
You get nuggets of knowledge all the time. You just
Yeah,
gotta
that's
be able
true.
to-
You do.
You get definitely at nuggets, and it's good for note taking for stuff like this. But just to watch the show, unless there's something really specific I missed,
Right.
I'm just gonna watch it without the captions. But
I can't do it now because I always got to confirm what they say is what I just read. You know what I mean? Like, what, did I hear that right? Like they pronounce someone's name, or if they haven't introduced the characters yet, they'll pop
put the
their name
name.
in. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
it would be better if it was like the live TV feed caption where it's kind of wrong, like all the words are a
Right.
bit off.
Yeah.
It's like I get these voicemails from my work phone,
Yes.
and it tries to translate them
Yeah.
so poorly.
Those are hilarious.
Oh my God, they're so bad. You're like, what? You were trying to sell me a dog? What? That doesn't make any sense. So Derek says, I have a few more pieces of meat for you to chew on. 1, still not buying their explanation of how Reva knew Anakin was Vader. She saw Anakin stab her in the temple and she passed out. Years later, she joins the Inquisitors and meets the Sith Lord Darth Vader. Why would she connect the two? We kind of got into that. You're still not buying it.
I don't think she would. I'm still skeptical. I've got to go back and watch episode.
Says she gives the reason in the show why she knows who is who.
What does she say?
I don't remember verbatim.
She sees.
You really came in hot. Like you fucking had something
She
to tell
does
us.
say.
though.
She says, "I was there." Blah blah blah, and it keeps showing the flashbacks, and then his face or whatever.
Yeah, but that's
So
Anakin.
she's like, "I know it's him.
I'm writing it
I
off.
got an email."
I had a bit of a conversation with Derek at work while he was, fleshing out his ideas before he emailed the show.
Okay.
Are you coaching him on his emails to the
Right.
show?
I'm spell checking, grammatic errors. No, but my answer,
Plot twist. Cole is Derek.
my answer to that was her. She's very strong in intuition. The force,
That is true.
The force side of
Yes.
intuition. So she had some sort of tickle in the back of her brain. I know this motherfucker. from
She's like, they
somewhere.
smell similar.
I can tell by
Or-
the way you use your walk.
Or while she's lying there faking dead, she hears one of the clone troopers go, "Jesus, Lord Vader, the children? Really?" She's like, "Ah."
He goes, "Trick love to kids." Slash. Just kills one.
2, Vader can stop one ship but not 2, and the Imperial ship in orbit just watches it leave. Well, he kind of already asked that question
Yeah.
earlier. But
he blew his load, right? Trying to
blew
I
focus.
think so.
he
Yeah.
blew his load, and they were already a little further away when he went to get him. Like he was still kind of focusing on.
It was out of his force window.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh shit, they're already gone." Like, yeah, too far away. It's out of range.
Hang on, I need a beer and a sandwich. Luckily, he recharged enough to stop that sneak attack
Right,
from
yeah.
Reva. It's like
A little
child's
different. A person with a lightsaber and a whole ship.
Maybe he knew that. Maybe he knew Reva was already sneaking up behind him. So he's like, "I gotta let that ship go because
that's
now I gotta
right.
kill this woman."
Yeah.
So he's like the Master Chief. He's got to let his shields recharge.
There you go.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, ready for the
3, Vader stabs Reva as a youngling with a lightsaber and she lives. Reva stabs the Grand Inquisitor and he lives. Vader stabs Reva a second time and walks away thinking she will die. As always, love the show. Stay strong, Matt. Thank you
Words of
for your
encouragement.
emails, Derek. Appreciate
Yes.
it. You get some entries for that. All right.
It's true. All of it. It's all true.
Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Borgullet will know the truth.
I love the Borg every time. It gets me. So, fact or fiction? Final results.
All right, let's see who the winners are.
So coming into this round, I had 28. You guys each had 27. Very close battle.
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
a barn burner.
Round 5 questions. Ready. Number 1, The Last Jedi features more female characters than the entire original trilogy. We all said Factpa. It is a Factpa.
Yes.
Number 2, Beastie Boys, Mike D and Ad Rock have cameos in The Rise of Skywalker. You guys said Factpa. I said fiction. It is fiction.
Damn.
Number 3, the Grand Inquisitor was originally meant to be Chagrian, but his horns wouldn't let him fit in a TIE fighter, so his species was changed to a Powan. We all said fiction. That's Factpa.
Oh.
So we all missed that one. Number 4, Harris and Dula probably has ears, but we've never seen them. Factpa? That is a Factpa. We all got that
Okay.
right. Number 5, the Wampa scene in Empire Strikes Back was changed because Mark Hamill's face was messed up after a car accident. We all said Factpa. He says it's fiction. At least that's what George Lucas says. Interesting. I thought that was true. Oh, well. Speaking of Mark Hamill, 3 of his kids have cameos in The Last Jedi. We said Factpa. It is a Factpa. Because we were all trying to figure it out. Does he only have 2 kids? Is he fucking with us? No,
Yeah.
yeah. Number 7, Rogue One is the only Star Wars movie where the title is also a line of dialogue. Solo doesn't count for obvious reasons. Jay and Cole said fiction. I said Factpa. It is fiction because The Last Jedi is mentioned at least once.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So now we're one apart. No, we're one.
Yeah. We're still one behind him.
Yeah.
20th Century Fox wanted Chewbacca to wear lederhosen. You guys said Factpa. I said fiction. Factpa.
Yes.
Oh, we're tied.
Oh.
Number 9, instead of the usual spinny lightsaber, the 10th brother uses Shoto-style lightsabers like Yoda and Ahsoka. You guys said Factpa. I said fiction. It is fiction. Sorry, you guys said Factpa. I said fiction. It is Factpa. You guys were correct.
We're up
And I
one.
realized why I'm wrong. It was the 8th brother who used the fucking spinny. I can't keep track of
He's such a little. He's such a little cunt, isn't he?
them. Fuck me. Number 10, final question. R2-D2 was inspired by the drones Huey, Dewey, and Louie from Silent Running. Cole said Factpa. Jay and I said fiction. It is Factpa.
Cole won.
So round 5 scores. Cole 7, Jay 6, me 4. Final tally. Cole 34, Jay 33, me 32.
Oh, wow.
Comes from
Dang.
behind.
You had the big lead too, bud.
I had a lead, like a couple, like
Every episode.
2 or 3 rounds in, I had like a 2 or 3
Yep.
score lead, but yeah, fucking blew it.
Good job, Cole.
Congratulations, Cole. You win.
Thank
nothing.
you. What do I win?
And if I recall, you just picked differently at the end just to be opposite, didn't you?
No.
I think so.
My
I
force
think he
intuition.
answered first. I think he said Factpa, and then we both talked about it. Went, fiction.
Okay.
So
I usually go first.
So, oh, your poor girlfriends. So I love that it came down to number 10 though. Last question. It came
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah,
That's
that was a
pretty
real
cool.
barn burner.
Wow.
Always thank you to Mike Laybourne
Yes,
for
really.
putting together that
Yeah.
segment. That was a great idea, a great segment. We look forward to many, many, many more.
Yeah, you got to bring it back in a couple weeks.
And we
It may
also
come-
look forward to
yeah.
never bequeathing you with a saber hilt.
That doesn't give you any extra entries or anything.
Nope.
It should.
we should just make one for Mike.
You think we should just start being nice to him and then like he'll
No.
quit listening to the show?
No chance.
Like,
We should get him
what
like
is this?
the cheapest like kids trophy, like participation trophy.
I'm gonna
that we
send
can
him
find.
my son's broken Kylo Ren lightsaber.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for the dollar store World Wrestling Federation belts. We're gonna get one of those.
super fan. Fact the
yeah.
super fan champion.
WWF. And we're just gonna duct tape, like masking tape on it and write Factpa, spell it wrong. Super fan. Send it to him.
No, seriously, thank you, Mike. I hope it does come back someday because it was a cool segment, or maybe he'll think of
Yeah.
another idea. He's
I did like it.
Great show contributor.
I enjoy the game. Cool. Good
right.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for listening, listeners. And until next time,
Beautiful transition.
Yeah.
You're really a master
I'm
at your art.
professional.
I know. Never tell us the odds.
In our experience, there's no such thing as luck.
We have spoken.
Jesus.
Jesus.